Welcome to the Center of Universal Light, your buffet of spiritual messages and music. Take what you want, leave the rest. It's very simple, very simple. I'm Kimberly Kelly, co-founder of this unique and exciting gathering of spirits, along with my husband, Arvel Bird. At CUL, we celebrate all of the faces and forms of that which you call the universe or the source of your divine nature. It's our truth here at Center of Universal Light that we belong to each other, no matter who our parents are, where we come from, or what path we're on. We are all one humanity.
Yay.
Yeah.
One God, many faces, one family, many races, one truth, many traces, one humanity, one heart, many places, one light, many places, one world, many spaces, one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one.
So, going with our prayer. Embracing now, you become embraced. Supple, breathing gently, you become reborn. Clearing your vision, you become clear. Nurturing your beloved, you become impartial. Opening your heart, you become accepted. Expecting the world, you embrace Tao. Bearing and nurturing, creating, but not only, giving without demanding, controlling without authoring. This is love. I am the Tao in Cottonwood, and I thank you all.
It is my great honor, privilege, dream come true to introduce my niece, Dr. Melissa Bird, PhD, MSW, a passionate feminist whose education in social work has led to a career advocating for children, women, and their families. She is a fierce believer in social justice advocacy and preparing women for leadership roles throughout their communities. Dr. Melissa guides women to harness their power, amplify their voice, and bring meaningful growth into their world. As a life coach, writer, educator, and fiery public speaker, Dr. Melissa Bird creates the genesis for a new brand of leadership. Her words awaken revolutionaries, trailblazers, and powerful innovators into the quest for justice. When she's not building her public speaking empire, she can be found reading trashy novels, drinking fine whiskey, playing mom to 3 delicious humans, and loving her punk rock scientist, James Thomas Kelly. Get her free handbook, 5 can't miss steps to finding your voice, and learn how to awaken your inner revolutionary trailblazer and engage in the quest for justice. You can also connect with Missy, as I knew her as a child, Missy, at birdgirlindustries.com on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please make welcome Dr. Melissa Bird.
Thank you, Uncle Harville. I love you. So, before I start, I have to tell you why this is such a magical opportunity for me. And it is because when my father, my Uncle Harville's brother Vern, committed suicide when I was 6, I lost Uncle Harville. And in 2008, I Googled him. And I found his website. And I freaked out and smoked about 10 cigarettes. And then I picked up the phone and I called him and Kim answered the phone. And that was, I can't believe it's been 11 years.
Yeah.
But that was 11 years ago, and so it's sort of a really, not sort of, it really is an incredible thing to be standing here, not just in front of all of you, but to be in this space with him after having lost him for so long. So it's pretty awesome.
Aw, yay.
Yay! I know! So I want to start by saying to all of us, help all of us to invoke the wisdom of those who have become before us, and those who I am here to lead. One of the things that happened to me recently, often when I'm in church, I go to the Episcopal Church in Corvallis, Oregon, and often when I'm in church, I'm scribbling and writing fastidiously in my book, and I'm crying the whole time usually. And one of the things that I wrote the other day was, how can you bring more life to your life? And what needs to be cleared away in order to bring more life to your life? And so as I was scribbling, I was listening to my friend Marion give her sermon about how do we receive the gifts of our talents. And I remember the exact moment when I was in high school and I received the talent of my rebellion. So I am an inherent natural rebel. I used to stand in good old Park City, Utah, when it was a tiny little town, right off the school grounds, 1 foot on school grounds, 1 foot on the public sidewalk, smoking cigarettes and blowing the smoke in the face of my principal. I remember when I found Ms. Magazine for the first time at the age of 17, it was like, who is Gloria Steinem and how do I meet her? And I met her, by the way, but not until a couple years ago. But I remember that moment when I found my talent for stirring the pot. And for all of this time, I have been told that this talent is wrong, and it is not a gift, that it's supposed to be silenced, and that I'm supposed to be quiet. And I learned that all throughout my childhood and growing up as a woman. And I pushed away that talent for a long time. And then I decided to go get a PhD. And I thought to myself, how am I going to use my talents and my skills for social justice to get my PhD? I just got a PhD not to teach, but I got it to prove that I could, because I barely made it out of high school. And my journey was really troubled up until that point. So I was thinking to myself, how can I talk to you about the skills that you have? How can I help you identify how the skills show to you later in life? I was thinking to myself, the skills I have to parent, and the skills I have to love, and the skills I have to teach everybody, those weren't my skills when I was 17, but I had that core of rebellion that was given to me as the launching pad. So take a minute and think, how do you declutter your mind and heart to let go of all the things you should be doing, or that you were told you were supposed to be doing? To open yourself back up to that space, to allow the passion to flow in, and identify that gift you were given that maybe you haven't thought about as a gift at all. Your heart is a star. It guides like the North Star. And as you breathe into your heart chakra, that's the center. We get told it's the solar plexus, or we get told it's the crown. But really, it's your heart. Your heart is the guide. And if you ever look up at these beautiful stars in Cottonwood, Arizona, you can see the North Star. You can see the guide. If you do that, and then you look back down within, gaze upon the splendid wonder of the sparkling star in your heart. Do you seek guidance from its luminous presence like you seek guidance from that star, those stars? When was the last time you gazed inward towards the beating of your own heart? Have you shut it off to protect yourself from hurt or pain? I've shut it off to protect myself from hurt and pain millions of times throughout my life. But what would happen if you opened it back up? What would happen if you took the risk to let it open all the way and blossom? What would happen if you took that beautiful heart and you held it in the palm of your hand and you blew love and light onto it. And you let it glow with that luminous glow of that blooming love. And its infinite capacity to guide you towards all the magic, all the glory, all the abundance and passionate badassery that you deserve. You may be waiting for a magic potion. Sometimes I do. You may be waiting for a kick in the pants from your favorite psychic. Sometimes I do. You might be looking for a sign, a smack in the face from the universe that you're on the right path. I used to seek that guidance externally. I used to think, I don't have the answer. Maybe if I call Taco the psychic in Magnet, Utah, she's going to give it to me. She's a great psychic, by the way. Taco's awesome. But knowing that it's in here, in this space, and that at any time I can call to it and hold it and nurture it and keep it in my palm, makes me feel just a little bit better about going out into this big, huge world and engaging in the advocacy that I've been engaging in since I was 17. So I want to offer you a bit of prayer before I go on. So close your eyes. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a big, deep breath in through your nose, not through your nose. Know, dear one, that simply by being born, you are on the right path. Your heart is your compass. It is your North Star. It is the only space within your body that shows you the way. Your heart will never let you down, even when you feel like it's breaking. Believe in the power and the glory that you hold deep inside of you. And so it is. So what lights you up as you've got that beautiful, gorgeous heart in the palm of your hand? What are you called to? What were you called to when you were 5 and 10 and 20 and 30? And as you have grown up, what are you called to do in the depths of your soul? That's your starting point towards advocacy. It's not listening to this 24-hour news cycle we have going on. It's not falling into the hubbub of what everybody else is saying to us. It's that thing way deep inside of us that we wanted to do from the time we were little. I wanted to be the President of the United States of America. For my whole life, y'all. Like when I was little, my parents would be pretending they were moms or nurses or teachers. I was the pregnant president. I always wanted to make humans, and I always wanted to be the president. Turns out I can't make the humans, but I got some anyway from another guy. And it turns out I really don't want to be the president, although if I could, I totally would. And I'd be really good at it too. Janet Reno once told me that if I ran for president, she'd vote for me. So I was like, great. She's like, I will do phone calls for you, whatever you need. I was like, thanks, Janet Reno. That moment though, that thing that's inside of me, that want to make change, that want to lead, that drive I have in the core of my center has never, ever, ever gone away. And you all have that too. But you have to stop questioning yourself. You've got to remember what that thing is inside of you. That's the point towards advocacy. It's not about the hubbub and the falling into the talking points and all of the stuff that we're hearing all over the place. It's about grounding your feet on the floor and knowing that the minute you stop questioning yourself and you know what that thing is that turns you on, that lights you up, once you're into that thing, you get to take action. No matter what that thing is. And we're going to talk about taking action in my workshop. The minute you take action, whether it's that you collect underwear for homeless people, or, because everybody needs clean underwear, people. I mean, let's be real. Clean underwear and socks, heaven for a homeless person. Whether it's writing a letter to your elected official to tell them something's made you frustrated or angry, Whatever that is, that's action, and action always leads to clarity. And clarity is really what we're seeking in this big, messy world. We want to be clear on our purpose. We want to be clear on what lights us on fire. So once you are clear, because you've taken action, you gain confidence. And with that confidence, you can inspire other people. I have sat in terror many a time. And boy, releasing that terror feels so good. Because once you do, you get to be gloriously messy. And you get to stop expecting perfection. And you can just sit in the mess and the muck that is life. Because life is messy. And you don't have to clean it up and put it in a nice little box and put a ribbon on it, although ribbons are delightful. Be vulnerable and open in your messiness. And then you can engage in that glorious advocacy and get something back from it in return. Because I think sometimes the reason we don't engage in advocacy and we don't make a choice to do something or say something is because we don't get anything back but a lot of criticism and crap. And who wants criticism and crap? But if you're tapped in and you're turned on and you feel that passion from deep within you, when someone criticizes you that you didn't say it the right way or do it the right way, you can be like, oh well. I mean, I lived my whole life online because my whole business is run online. Everything I do is online and I get criticized a lot. And usually I say, that's interesting. Oh well. All the time I say, there's a nugget for me to learn in this. How can I embrace the messy? Be fully seen in the glorious vision of your passionate heart. It's all right. I give every single one of you permission to be fully, gloriously, gigantically seen with the vision of your whole heart. I love your deep breath. That was good. What would happen if we meditated more and hugged more and thanked more? Y'all seem to have that down pretty good here. The hugging especially. What would happen if we just admitted that we're sad about what's happening in the world? And then we tried to figure out how to give that world a little bit more grace and a little bit more hug. What would happen if we took little tiny steps each day to shift the tide in our own backyard? I'm sure there's plenty of things to get riled up about in Cottonwood, Arizona. But if we come from that space of passion, if we approach the things that rile us up from a space of love and compassion and willingness to talk to people who don't necessarily think the same way we do, all sorts of stuff starts to shift. And it's awesome. I know it because I've done it. Once a month, I go live on Facebook with a friend of mine named Amy Wolf. Amy Wolf is the conservative to my liberal yang. She's my yin to my yang. We don't agree on a whole lot of stuff. But we have forged a friendship of deep mutual respect and love for each other. And we talk about stuff that's really hard to talk about, like guns and abortion and politics and religion and all of the things. And I tell her I'm a Christian witch and she loses her mind completely. She can't figure out how the two go together. But the beauty of it is that because we come from that space of passion and heart and love, we can have hard conversations. And we're inspiring other people to do the same. And that's the point. The point is to not stay angry like everybody wishes we would. The longer we stay angry and divided, the more likely it is that division continues.
Right on.
Thank you. So I want to invite you today to come together, not just as you do here in church every Sunday. Not church. This collective. To shed light, to get rid of what doesn't serve our higher mission. So you do this every week. But what if you kept doing it out there once you walked away? If you shed light on the higher mission of your purpose, it would give us a lot of oxygen and breathing room. And that's really what our heart needs, is oxygen and breathing room. Which makes it so that we are able to do the hard work it's going to take to bring this country back together. And this is why I go all over in little tiny communities like this and do my work. While my work is valid in big, huge, giant urban areas, I would much rather be in the rural parts of the United States of America talking to people about what's happening in their own communities, because that's where the ripple comes. Are you familiar with that Robert Kennedy quote about dropping the rock and the ripple effect? That's what this is. Now you all today will be able to go out and take your heart and blow the light on it and shed it to the whole entire world. And I was grateful that Arvil and Kim asked me to leave you with a prayer for justice today, because I happened to have written one a couple of weeks ago. So this is my prayer for justice. Give us this grace, O universe, to answer readily the call of social justice and community building, and proclaim to all people the good news of our rising, that we and the whole world may perceive the glory of our marvelous works, who lives and reigns with you and the spirit of love, one love, forever and ever. Blessed be.
One love.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Melissa Byrd. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
We're a bird of this same.
Smoking!